Hey, hi, Vibers. Jess here. How's it going? I am so excited to be here with you today, and you came upon this video because it was meant for you to see it. And before we get started, I just got to take a sip of my tea. So, the tea that I'm drinking, I put it in this clear glass so that you can see it. Let's see if it can focus. Let it focus on that. Can you focus on tea? Baby, can you focus on tea? All right, let me chill out. So I'm drinking my hibiscus lychee tea, and I mixed a little bit of Damiana in it. Damiana is a new herb for me. I actually have not used it yet before, so you will not find it in any of my blends on highvibeherbals.com because I'm testing it out. So far, it's treating me real nice. The way that I got it, I just bought, I'll tell you a little bit about how I test out the herbs on myself is I go to the herbal shop and, I'm located here in Orlando. So there are many herbal shops, or several actually, not many, several herbal shops that you can choose from. Okay. Especially for things like Damiana, which is a great plant for hormonal balance in women and in men. Specifically for women, it is great for womb health, our yoni health. But anyway, so what I do is I go to the herbal shops and I buy the smallest pack that they have just so that I can try it. And I'll either try it out for a week of taking it, or my first taste is by itself just to see how the plant tastes, right? What it does for me. And then I make a blend for myself in whatever I want to use it in. I actually ended up using Damiana for cooking as well. So as you may know, I am of Jamaican descent. I'm firstborn or first generation American. And boiled dumplings is something that we like to eat, which is just dough mixed with, we make a dough with, flour and water. Sometimes cornmeal is put in it. But you make the dough, you mix it all up, and you add in, like some salt just to have a little bit of flavor, and you boil it. Okay. But because I got the Damiana powder, I didn't find the leaf. I found the powder. I just took the powder and I sprinkled it in there so that I had amazing, herbal infused boiled dumpling. So that's a little sidebar. But anyway, so what I do is I then, experience the plant every day, see how I feel. I just take note. It's best to write it down whenever you are doing something like this to experience the plant in its entirety. But I do so when I can remember. Right now, I just do it in my head. So I added a little bit of my Damiana tea into this with my lychee hibiscus. So, the plant that I want to talk to you guys about today and the emotion that we are discussing is happiness with hibiscus. So, I have two blends that I can show you that I carry with High Vibe Herbals. One is my Jamaican sorrel tea. Oop, if we can focus. Can you focus on tea? Hey. Sometimes you just got to sing to the camera. There we go. It's kind of working. I'm not going to blind you. So that was a Jamaican sorrel tea, which is a drink, a holiday drink that we have in Jamaica. Usually we don't drink it as a hot tea. We usually drink it as a cold winter beverage. And sometimes we add a little rum and a whole lot of brown sugar. Depends on whose house you go to. But it tastes amazing. It tastes so good as a warm tea. I had some customers who said it gives them the feeling of like a mulled cider. So that's what it tastes like. Then I have the hibiscus jasmine, the infamous hibiscus jasmine, which I put my story on the front of this label. That, of course, that wasn't clear again. If it replaces my face, is that clear? No? Yes? Okay. Good enough. Let's talk about the emotion that we are addressing today. So the emotion that we're addressing today is happiness. Happiness is oftentimes fleeting. especially for me, my natural state is, well, not so happy. And so sometimes I need assistance. So I decided to record this video today because I am so proud of myself. I allowed myself to feel down in the dumps, overwhelmed, and just a total bah humbug of a mood. And, I'm like, oh, I want to get out of it. What do I do? I want to get out of it. And then I realized, hello, why are you trying to get out of it? You have to allow the most emotions to pass, right? That is what you are supposed to do. According to my teachers, my spiritual teachers, the thought leaders that I follow, it's recognizing, okay, here's where it is. It's meant to be in the body, and allow it to process out. So I was like, all right, let me just sit with this, accept it. This is how I feel right now. But at the same time, I know that when you carry that with you and you let it become who you are, well, you start to get things that you don't necessarily want in your life. So I had to run through things that I was grateful for. I had to do like a gratitude session. And then I realized, well, what is the thing that is really happening? I really felt a disconnection from God. And, usually I'm just someone who's very sensitive and I can always feel like that presence. But sometimes when my emotions have me just so wrapped up in a ball, it's hard for me to get from him what I should be getting, or get from God what I should be getting, to feel that closeness, excuse me. Michael Beckwith said something that was so good, and I'm going to butcher it because I don't remember exactly what he said. He said something like, we may feel disconnected, but we are always connected. The disconnection is only a feeling. Okay? That's all it is. Well, what is the closest way, the quickest way to get back connected again? T. Can we focus on T? I'm gonna keep doing that. I don't know. It's funny to me. Okay. So the tea. I drank some tea. And I was like, you know what? I have a lot to be grateful for. You know what? These problems that that are just ruminating in my head, these issues that are around me, things that are going on, even with other people who are in my life, that I'm just like, oh, I want them to have better. I want them to be better. I want them to feel better. Allow it to just be what it is. Accept it. It is not permanent. It'll pass, and we may grow together as a collective. And when I sipped on my tea and I ate my dumpling with a little bit of Damiana, I remembered, the power of the Lord is here. God is always here. No matter how much we feel that disconnection. So then, how do we maintain this happiness? Okay. That is really what I wanted to talk about. It's now that I have this and I hold this, and happiness is who I am. It's my very being, right? It is the essence of who I am. As children, we are happy, right? Look, I used to be a teacher and I found that a lot of kids were not happy. Okay. But let's talk about like as babies, just we have this sense of joy and want to explore. When we feel that joy, what do kids want to do? All they want to do is explore. How does this work? How does that work? What is this? What is that? What does that taste like? Ooh, I could put this in my mouth. Ooh, I can drop this on the floor. Let's see what happens if I throw this down the hill, asking all these questions. So another thing that I made sure that I did, which was really unintentional, I didn't realize it until I was in the act, was I was making lunch for myself and I started to cook and throw ingredients together. And suddenly the thought came to mind of, whoa, now you're creating. The way to hold on to happiness, the way to increase your sense of joy and satisfaction and to hold on to it is to be in a constant state of creation. This creation does not always look the same, depending on the day, depending on the time, maybe depending on the hour. At that time, my sense of creation, my source of creation was me putting these herbs together for food. This is why I own High Vibe Herbals. Because I like to put herbs together. But You know, right now, my sense of joy, you may see my cat's ear in the video. He wants to see what's happening. Anyway, so my sense of joy right now is coming from creating this video and speaking to you, whomever you are, who more than likely needs to see this. Because maybe you're like me. Another thing that helped me was turning on the videos and just hearing all of the different thought leaders that I follow, and you know, they're speaking. So I began to listen to and just play videos of different thought leaders that I follow, and watch on YouTube. And you know, when I'm in certain emotions, I hear them, but I don't really hear them. And then suddenly I recognize, okay, now there's resonance. It's resonating with me. I'm able to transmute what they're saying. It's coming in, and I can see how I can apply it to my own life. That's when I know that I'm open for creation. And when that source, the connection to source, to God, is there. Okay. So I absolutely, so you maintain the happiness, as I said, by creating, right? So yes, these herbs, this tea comes in and it helps us, it can really help to come and pick us up by our bootstraps, and like get us really out of, you know, out of a funk. But also it takes our own mental state, you know, like what thoughts are you allowing for yourself? What thoughts are you creating for yourself? And sometimes it takes work. I know, like, for me, it's the reason why I came into a business like this, or 5 4 3 2 1, or it's the reason why I'm even sharing and have information to share like this, is because this is what I have had to transform within my own life, is it's and find answers for questions such as, how do I maintain my happiness? I feel it here. You know, even yesterday, a friend called me and she was like, what's going on? And I was like, you know what? I'm experiencing this feeling where I feel so much joy right now because I was having a lot of fun with one of my best friends and my daughter. And I was like, I'm having so much fun, right? That it feels like I'm waiting for something to come in on the other side and immediately stop it. Like I'm waiting for something to happen to take the joy away from me. That was a serious realization, and I was so happy that I had it. I was like, oh man, that is what I'm recognizing. And then I started to rejoice. I was like, yes, because you know what that means. When you hit certain growth points, right? Certain growth points of self-realization, like, I know I'm like this, I know I'm like this, I know I do this, I have this behavior pattern, I'm blah, 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 you know, then you start to grow, right? And you start to experience, well, like, cool, now I'm not like this anymore. But sometimes you go back. And oftentimes you're going back to collect that part of yourself and raise her or him up to be with you where you are. You have to collect all of yourself to move up to the next stage. I have to collect all of myself to move on to the different opportunities that are now being created for the me who I am now. Who am I now? The opportunities that are available for me now were not available for the Jessica that was here before. Okay? But I have to collect all of me. And so sometimes she'll pop back up and be like, knock, knock. Hey, so we're feeling like this right now. Right. And often that's what happens with happiness. And so to go down the list of what I said about how to maintain your happiness and how to hold on to it and even how to increase it. Number one is drinking some tea. Let me drink some tea now before I finish this list with you. Tea. Can we focus on tea? All right, so we have the Jamaican sorrel tea again, and we have the hibiscus jasmine tea. We also have what's in my cup, the lychee black tea. Hibiscus lychee black tea. And then we have the Gotu Kola elixir, and we have the Good Energy extract, as well as whatever other plants and herbs and tea blends, whether or not they are located on highvibeherbals.com, that you can find on there. Oh, you know what? I should definitely do a special coupon code for those of you who are watching highvibeherbals.com. Go ahead and use the code YouTube to get 10% off your purchase. You like my little commercial? Okay, so focus. Task on hand. We're making a list of the ways that you can maintain your happiness that I use to maintain my own happiness. So again, this is just suggestions, not saying that they're going to work for you like for sure, but there's a good chance that they will because they work for me. So number 1 was drinking the tea. Number 2 is creating. Once you feel that spark of joy, create something. Whether that is going to be cooking, whether that is going to be, or, like anything else you can create, whether you're going to draw, anything else you can create. Number 3 can also be play, because play came to mind actually, of something that you can do, because that's always fun. Playing can be anything that sparks joy. I find hiking as playing, or kayaking as playing, or sometimes playing for you might be organizing or sweeping. Sometimes that can be considered playing. And then number 4 can be that just remember that although you may feel disconnected from God, from the heavenly realm, from maybe spirits that you usually feel around you, you are always connected. Oftentimes it is the attention to the emotions that we have at hand that keeps us separated. So you want to feel that happiness, maintain that happiness, joy, sense of satisfaction by remembering that. Oh, and I can't forget this. Number 5 is to remain in gratitude. You feel that happiness, continue looking at things, speaking about things, writing things down, and focusing on what you are grateful for. Okay. And I'm going to say number 6 is the same as number 1 or number 2, because I forgot which one I put it in. We're going to focus on some tea. So go to highvibeherbals.com to get your 10% off of your order for tea. You can purchase the hibiscus, the lychee hibiscus black tea. You can purchase the hibiscus jasmine, and you can also purchase the Jamaican sorrel tea. I want to real fast go through this wonderful herbal astrology oracle card that I have. Ooh, I touched my mic. So if you look here, oh, look at that. That shows up nice and clearly. Amazing. By Adriana Ayales. I actually took one of her classes about herbal astrologies. Amazing. It's how I have all of this knowledge about it. I love it. Loved it and still love it, because 2 years later, no, man, it's been 3 years. 3 years later, I'm still using the information from her class. So she's just a blessing. I would love for you to also support her store. Just look up Adriana Ayales, and you'll find her store, Anima Mundi is the name of her herbal shop. Okay, so, okay, I don't know if it's my first time looking up the hibiscus information in this book. In this book, she has a book that goes along with it that explains the cards. Okay. But I want to find the card now so I can show you. You guys. Number 14, hibiscus, is for joy, 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 joy. It's for joy. Oh my gosh, it's for joy. You can learn more about hibiscus on my podcast. It is called Keep Expecting Miracles. And on that podcast, which is located here on YouTube, I may just have it as the next video to play. We have an herbal segment. It is toward the end of the episode. It is called I've Got an Herb for That. And in the I've Got an Herb for That segment for that episode, we talked about Roselle hibiscus. My co-host, Alyssa, and I discussed all of the different uses, the different ways that we use it, all of the contraindications, which means who should not use it. We also talked about the spiritual connection to it, what it does for you spiritually, and also scientifically, what it's scientifically proven to do, and any research that is currently being done on the plant. Hibiscus sparks joy, makes you feel joyful. It enhances happiness. It allows you to feel grace, which allows you to give others grace. It is just one of those flowers that helps you with increasing your joy. Thank you so much for listening to Tea Time with Jess. And I look forward to you maintaining your happiness, and maybe you writing in the comments about ways that you have maintained your happiness. If you do that, it may help other people who can use all that they can use, you know. So we all need help. We can come together as a community. If you have any questions for me, you can send me a DM on Instagram. My tag or Instagram name. I'm still in the AOL days, even though I'm a whole 35. When we used to call them screen names, that never changed for me. So I'm gonna bring it back. My Instagram screen name is High Vibe Herbals, or you can send me an email to community@highvibeherbals.com. And follow me here, and also follow my podcast, which is Keep Expecting Miracles. All right. If you're into spiritual stuff and being spiritually connected, my podcast is geared toward people of all genders. People of all genders. I'll say that. It is geared toward people of all genders who are interested in spiritual content, because, well, it's just a way of life. So I'm going to continue organizing my cards. That is what you see me looking down doing. And, I'm a mom, so I multitask. You know what? Let me not say I'm a mom, because I have friends who are not moms who multitask. I'm a woman, so I multitask. All right. Thanks for joining, guys. Bye.